movement where we're on the line, we block the girl off the line. This hold is very significant because I want her to actually be stopped and blocked, because the next thing I'm going to do, leave your hand there, darling, is I'm going to start pulling her forward and down. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a windmill effect for the girl. Now, the girl's responsibility is always to move up and down the line. So the moment I get out of her way, she should start coming down this way. So if she's a wonderfully experienced dancer, you don't have to pull her down the line very much, okay? But the girls that are unfamiliar, when you start to bring this hand down, they step back. And that completely blows this move, right? So to set yourself up properly, you need to step across the line and do this complete block. And if we were studying Aikido, we would better understand what this is. But I've actually closed up this wrist and stopped her from moving, okay? And then I'm going to come back and let her shoulder go through, and then my shoulder goes through. All right, so we did this last week, so we're revising this move, and then we're going to build others. The end. Okay, so here we go. We're going to step across the line, block. Then right, left, wait for that shoulder, go past, and it's done. I know, you'll get there. I think you were doing it last week. Here we go. So you got to give me a bit more frame. You got to push against me, push harder. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Could you explain to Amy about she's moving down the line, so I blocked her, and then I'm pulling her, pulling you. Okay, we'll start again.
Cái này được quen rồi nhé. Cả hai cùng lên như xoay 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 đó. Chưa?
Yeah. Okay, guys. The next one we're going to do is the pizzazz version. Okay, so a few of them were already started it. So we do that block and then come back to the Archies. But this time, as her shoulder goes through, we're going to slip the arm in there and stop the girl. So if you boys walk around me and Lynn right now, this is the correct position. We're almost back to back. Can you all see that? Okay. Come on. Have a look at my positioning. All right. Did you see how I got here? Okay, I'll do it again. All right. So I've gone, block, and then as the girl's coming through, and I'm watching the shoulder, instead of just letting her go, I'm going to block her. And then I stand upright, like this, and I'm almost back to back with her. All right? So walk around the other side or look in the mirror. So you've got a better idea of how I've come to do this. Yeah? And so now, stay right there, don't move. Okay? I'm like this right now. And I don't want to use my upper hand all my lower hand to move the girl, because if I do either one of those separately, it'll knock her off balance. But if I use my body, which means keeping these hands pretty much still, and then start turning her, she'll move in a very balanced fashion. So, we're back again. Okay, so now I'm just going to start moving her, and then I'm going to support her hand, pushing down a little bit, and we could just come into a dip after that. Okay, so let's get that going. Okay, girls, so I just want to remind you girls of something. Ladies, when you're the dip, right, and you've got an inside leg, okay, and you've got your man, hold on to him really tight in case something goes wrong. You're the one that's going to hit the floor, not him. So take care of yourself. But the thing I want to remind you of is this inside leg. I'm going to bend as I go down. I'm able to control my balance through this leg and how far I go as well. Okay? So you can control this. You aren't just saying to the man, I'm yours, do with me what you will. Boom. Okay? You're there with this inside leg controlling your motion down. Okay? If you don't like the guy that's leading you and he wants to do a dip, you can always cancel a dip. So when you go into the dip, here he is, he's going to dip you, and you just go, no, I'll sit instead. Okay? So you don't give him the upper body, you just sit in it. And then you're absolutely safe. Okay? So you gotta remember, you guys, you're gonna be dancing in a social setting. They're not necessarily trained dancers. It's a shame you were asking questions about this. You're at a party somewhere, some cool dude gets you up to dance, you jump around. He seems like he knows what he's doing, but you're not quite sure. I suggest you be very careful. Like I say, always keep a good grip on the man when you're doing these sits and dips and so on, because you can't hurt him, he's big and tough. And the other thing is, if you don't feel comfortable to take a dip with him, and that may change when you dance a bit longer, if you're not comfortable, just do the sit. Just do the sit, because nobody is going to get hurt doing that. Okay, so back to what we were doing. Get these display moves. We're going to take the girl out, and then we're going to bring her back in. And when we've got her, we pause. This is the big dramatic moment. This is the excitement. And while we're going to wait at least one beat of the music and let the display happen. So this gives anyone watching the opportunity to see the beauty. It gives the lady the opportunity to prepare for the move, right? And believe me, guys, we get pretty about the girls and what they have to do. Because some of the stuff is very difficult. I always appreciate that. I was never born to follow. So anyway, they have a hard job. So don't rush them through the dancing, because they won't be able to do a great job for us. All right? So Miss Chang, we're going to do a simple dip to begin with. So I'm on the line, I'm going to step off the line, 1, 2, and I'm looking for this shoulder here, okay? So you can see in the mirror as well. So she has just come through, and I am looking for that shoulder, and as the shoulder goes by, I give her the first indication that this is going to be a dip. And then as she goes through, I give her the second. The moment the girl has this, she is expecting a dip, okay? And so now I'm just going to do that dip, all right? And I took my time in doing that because this was the display. If the girl is not confident with the guy, do a sit, she can sit this part. So here I go to dip her, And I can't make her do the dip. She's sat. Do the dip this time. Dip, right? And sit. I can't control that. All I do, like a lot of our moves, is offer. I offer the dip. If she's not confident, she'll sit. She could have a knee injury. She could have all kinds of reasons to do that. You just have to be aware of that and maybe ask her if you can do a dip with her. But anyway, that's the safety thing for the girls. And just remember that you've got to be very strong holding on to the boys. So let's just do that simple dip together, please. Grab a partner. Dip. The sit version of that. So we've done the dip onto the shoulder, drop the girl. So this time we're going to do the sit. So when the boy wants to do a sit, he's going to be pushing on the hip of the girl. But long before that, he's going to go through the same motions, but he's not going to take the shoulder. No indication of dip here. And he's going to block the girl. So as she comes by, he's just simply going to stop her. What does the girl do? But grab hold of the shoulder for her own security. And he's going to take the free hand onto the hip. And he's going to frame on her. So I've gone stop. I put my hand on her hip. And now I go down. She has no choice. Okay? And this will make it sharp. So there we go. And I usually just break out into a first move, but you can do anything you like after that. So that's what I'd like you to do this time. Show me you can do a good one of those. This one is really controlled by the boys. So as she goes by, I just let her go by and I go stop. She runs into this arm. Yes. That was the question? I understand. And now I just make her sit down. So you girls, as you come through, you're always looking for connection with the boy. Look. Okay? And this is your strength. This is your protection. And then down. Remembering that this inside leg is your control of going down. All right? And you don't want to push the boy this way. You actually want to go down in that spot. Much easier in the sit, stop, hip, down. Okay? So let's do that. So when we're here, I've stopped her. Okay? She's going to grab hold of me, and I'm going to grab this hip. And when I've got this, I've got frame on the top, on the bottom, and I'm just now going to sit. And she has to do it because I'm actually on that hip. I'm not on her leg, which will slip off. I'm not on her shoulder. I'm on this hip, and I just put my weight there. She has no choice but to squat down with me. Okay? I'm going to stop you for a moment and just talk to you about this now that you've got the basic mechanics. So here we are, the double block. Then I'm going to step back off the line. And now, do you see my hands? My hands are not like this. They're not like this. My hands are like this. So I'm stretching out the girl as much as I can because this allows me to control where her frame is. She won't wander over there. She won't run into me. Okay? So I keep these arms stretched out. As she goes around me, I keep this all stretched out. Look, look. Still stretched out. Still stretched out. Still stretched out. Stretched out. And then she feels all this continuous lead of doing these turns until I've got her in front of me now, and I'm going to roll that hand down. Thank you. Okay? So the point I'm trying to make to you is that whenever you're in these dance moves where you need to really control where the girl is. You do it with these arms stretched out. So you're controlling where she is at all times so she can do it really cleanly for you. Otherwise, even with the best of dancers, because she's relying on that help to keep her balance, to keep her line, if you don't give her that, she'll go all over the place and you're like, oh my God. All right? So give her the assistance she needs, which is the stretched out arms. All right? So there's your double block, okay? And I'm trying to maintain her frame. So as I stretch her out, I'm not wanting to pull her one way or the other, and I'm going to have to make lots of adjustments in my chase to make sure that I'm doing the hard work of keeping her balanced. Now, when I do this, flick her down, I've actually handed her the lead now. Okay, so she's the boss. I'm just standing here. Your best bet is either to come up with something which is going to be completely different than hers, or to actually follow her lead, which in Chang's case, she's going to go down and up, and here I am, and there she is, and I'm trying to move around in a similar fashion to her to emphasize what she's doing, because she is the boss. So we'll do that at speed without music. Oh, there you go. And I usually, from this position, is I just take this hand and I bring her down the line. And that means you can do anything as she comes down the line. You can take her straight into a dip, straight into a sit. I prefer to do that kind of thing and go into some of our rotational stuff of spinning the girl back and forth. I think that's more complimentary, but it's up to you. I would like you to try the last part of that and then add in whatever exit you would like.
I also like to encourage the girl after you do the what for that?
Duck.
You try to do a body roll because it's like in a ready position already. And you're gonna move around your chest
And just out of interest, Chang is more advanced, so she finds it quite easy just to stand there and move her body around.
my A-frame. I don't do it together with my A-frame. So I do it all.
So I would recommend you practice this kind of thing at home. It's really Latin styling. It's not done in the mainstream modern jive, but I think it's a missing part of really showing off some style. But the point I was going to make to you was that all of these body rolls, which the really coordinated people can do with their feet still, is much easier if you step it. So if you step, you will find that much easier at the beginning. And if you just get into the idea of doing a step and making it look good, then both the boys and the girls will be lifting that styling. Now I want to show you one move because the larger group hasn't arrived, so we'll just continue a little bit of teaching. Okay, so this is your basic duck. Now you might remember that we've done the basic dip and we've done the basic sit, right? So as she comes down, I'm going to put her hand low, and as she comes through, I'm going to put her hand onto her shoulder so you can see in the mirror, okay? And now she's going to step into my A-frame and duck and turn around, and I'm going to give her a sit. So I'll show that to you again. Hand down, hand up. Okay.
It's because I quite short, so with some toning, I don't have to cut my leg. I didn't have to visit the only about medium market. I have to
Tilt the head away.
straight. When I step in his A-frame, I'm gonna squat down, tuck my head a little, and there I go. So I don't lose balance. I don't tuck from the beginning.
Okay, so when you're the girl and you're learning this move, because Chang is talking to you as an advanced girl, and she just says, oh, when I absolutely need to, at the last moment, I just go duck my head out of the way. But the girls are not going to be able to do that as they're learning. So in reality, what we need girls to do to start this is that when you're coming through, what you have to remember is he's asked you to pop down in his A-frame in a moment, but his arm is coming around the back. So you just got to tilt your head out of the way so you don't get smacked. And now he's asking you to pop into his A-frame. So the key here is this. I'm going to squat. I'm going to pop down. I'm not going to say, oh, I need to move my head out of the way, so I'll move it forward. You lose balance straight away. And then when he asks me to go down, I'll just lean forward. Because now you're completely off balance. I mean, you're spinning like this. Okay? That is not the movement. So we just show you again. So she can tilt as soon as she feels that head, and she's going to go. Down. Okay, so she went straight down, and then I'm going to catch her. So that's shoulders over hips and up again. Not this. Yeah?